Dear students, now that you are aware of what is judicial control over administrative discretion, let us discuss few of the grounds of judicial review of administrative discretion of public authorities in this session. There are 8 important grounds. First one is mala fides. Mala fides or bad faith means dishonest intention or corrupt motive. Even though it may be difficult to determine whether or not the authority has exceeded its powers in a particular case because of the broad terms in which the statute in question may have conferred power on it, the administrative action may nevertheless be declared bad if the motivation behind the action is not honest. At times the courts use the phrase mala fides in the broad sense of any improper exercise or abuse of power. In Jaichand vs State of West Bengal, the Supreme Court observed that mala fide exercise of power does not necessarily imply any moral turpitude as a matter of law. It only means that the statutory power is exercised for purposes foreign to those for which it is in law intended. In this sense, mala fides is equated with any ultra vires exercise of administrative power. The term mala fides has not been used in the broad sense, but in the narrow sense of exercise of power with a dishonest intent or corrupt motive. Mala fides in this narrow sense would include those cases where the motive force behind an administrative action is personal animosity, spite, vengeance, personal benefit to the authority itself or its relations or friends. Mala fide exercise of discretion power is bad as it amounts to abuse of power. Now, let us look at different case laws regarding this ground. In Express Newspapers Private Limited versus Union of India, a notice of re-entry upon the failure of lease granted by central government and of threatened demolition of the appellant's officer buildings was held to be mala fide and politically motivated by the party in power against the Express group of newspapers in general. The fact of the case was that by an agreement of lease, the petitioner was allotted certain plots for construction of its press building by the Government of India. The Express newspapers then constructed its building. The Lieutenant Governor of Delhi alleged that the new Express building was constructed in contravention of municipal corporation laws and served a notice for re-entry and for its demolition. But the construction of new building was in conformity with the lease deed and with the express sanction of lessor, that is Union of India. The Supreme Court observed in the instant case on the allegation of mala fide as follows: where the mala fides are alleged, it is necessary that the person against whom such allegation is made should come forward with an answer refuting such allegations. For otherwise such allegations remain unrebuted and the court would in such case be constrained to accept the allegations so remaining unrebuted and unanswered on the test of probability. The court thus held that on the facts and circumstances of the instant case, the impugned notice was actuated with an ulterior and extraneous purpose and thus was wholly mala fide and politically motivated. In State of Punjab versus V.K. Khanna, the court held that the expression mala fide has a definite significance and there must be existing definite evidence of bias. The action would not be mala fide unless the same is in accompany with the some other factors which would depict a bad motive or intent on the part of the doer of the act. Mala fide intent or bias depends upon facts and circumstances of each case. The dispute in the appeals pertains to the last phase of earlier government and the first phase of the present government in the state of Punjab. When Prakash Singh Badal came into power, not only Chief Secretary had to walk out of the administrative building, but a number of 17 officers in the hierarchy of officers was placed as the Chief Secretary, and within period of 10 days of his entry at the Secretariat a notification was issued, though with the authority and the consent of Chief Minister pertaining to cancellation of 2 earlier notification initiating a CBI inquiry. The High Court attributed it to be a motive improper and mollified. Absence of malice has been the main contention in support of the appeal, and adoption of a simple method of disciplinary enquiry was key issue as given by the appellants. Sri Khanna, a respondent, contended that the entire proceeding was the event of gross violation of basic tenets by reason of malice. Supreme Court upheld the order of the High Court. Mollified is psychological factor to allege, but very difficult to prove. The burden of proving mollified is on the person making the allegations, and burden is very heavy. Neither express nor implied malice can be inferred or assumed. It is for the person seeking to invalidate an order to establish the charge of bad faith. The reason is that there is presumption in favor of the administration that it always exercises its power bona fide and in good faith. Seriousness of allegations demands proof of a high order and credibility. The Supreme Court in E. P. Royappa vs. Tamil Nadu brought out difficulties inherent in proving mollifieds. The factors which are important in proof of mollifieds: direct evidence, example documents, tape recordings, etc., course of events, public utterance of the authority, deliberate ignoring of facts by the authority, and failure to file affidavits denying the allegations of mollifieds. However, if the allegations are of wild nature, there is no need of controverting allegations. Mollifieds may also be inferred from the authority ignoring apparent facts either deliberately or sheer avoidance. With this, I would like to conclude this session. We will see more of it in subsequent sessions. Thank you.